Good morning, children. Today I am going to explain conditional class or if class or conditional sentences. First of all, before going into details, what is a class? Classes of phrases are very important. First of all, what is class? Afterwards, we have to know what is if class. What is a class? Class is a group of words and part of a sentence that consists of one subject and one verb. Class is a group of words and part of a sentence that consists of one subject and one verb. Compulsorily, every class must consist of one subject and one verb. Compulsory. So, class, what is the class is a group of words and part of a sentence that consists of one subject and one verb. Generally, there are two classes, main class and subordinate class. And other classification also there. Noun class, adverb class, adjective class. There is one more classification of classes. But here, in this conditional sentence, basically a sentence is divided into two classes. There is one main class, one subordinate class. Again, what is main class? What is subordinate class? Main class should consist of one subject and one verb. Subordinate class also should consist of one subject and one verb. But the main difference is main class gives full meaning. It doesn't depend on subordinate class. Without subordinate class also, main class can survive, can stand on its own, and it gives full meaning. That is about main class. Next is subordinate class. Subordinate class is quite opposite. Subordinate class also should consist of one subject and one verb. That is a must. But subordinate class doesn't give complete meaning. It is always dependent. That's why it is called a dependent class. It always depends on main class for its full meaning. Subordinate class cannot stand on its own. It cannot give full meaning. It is always incomplete without main class. So that's why main class is also called independent class. Subordinate class is also called dependent class because subordinate class always depends on main class. And one more thing, subordinate class should begin with one subordinate conjunction. Compulsorily, one subordinate conjunction. For example, if, unless, where, when, till, until. For example, the number of subordinate conjunctions are there. So, compulsorily, a subordinate class should begin with one subordinate conjunction. If or whether, unless, as, because, since, unless, till, until, where, when. For example, these are some subordinate conjunctions. So, subordinate class compulsorily should begin with a subordinate conjunction. That's why it is called subordinate class. It doesn't give complete meaning. That is about the definition of class. And what is subordinate class? What is main class? This definition is also very important. Look at next step. Every grammar topic has one definition compulsorily. Take voice, take direct indirect speech, take conditional sentence, degrees of comparison, any you can take, question tag. First you must know what is the definition of that point. Here also the heading is if class. It is also called a conditional class. It is also known as a conditional sentence. Why is it called if clause? Why is it called if clause? Because that clause, that means a part of a sentence, begins with subordinate conjunction if. Begins with subordinate conjunction if. That's why it is also called if clause. It is incomplete subordinate clause because it began with one subordinate conjunction if. And it is also called conditional clause. Why this clause is called conditional clause? There is one reason. In such kind of sentences, compulsorily there is one condition. Compulsorily there is one condition. First you have to fulfill the condition in the clause. That condition should be fulfilled first. Then only the second thing in that sentence will be fulfilled or will be completed. Otherwise, it cannot be completed. So, first you have to fulfill the condition in the sentence. Without fulfilling the condition, second sentence cannot be fulfilled. For example, if you work hard, you will come up in life. Here, reason is working hard, result is come up in life. So, if you want to come up in life, what should you do first? You have to work hard. First, you have to work hard. So, that is the condition in that sentence. It began with if, subordinate conjunction. So, this part is called subordinate clause because it began with subordinate conjunction. This is the condition in this sentence. What is the second sentence, main clause? You will come up in life. You will develop in life. So, without working hard, it is not possible. You cannot come up in life. So, for that purpose, first you have to fulfill this condition, first condition, which is given in the subordinate clause. Then only second thing will be completed. Second thing will be fulfilled. Because of that reason also, this is called if clause and this is also called conditional clause. And the conditional sentences. The entire sentence is called conditional sentence. Both subordinate clause and main clause. Because it included, a condition is included in such kind of sentences. That is the definition of if clause, conditional clause or conditional sentences. So, up to now, we know the definition of clause. Next, kinds of clauses. Next, one example. And why are these sentences called if clause, conditional clause or conditional sentence? Okay, this is the basic information. Introduction. Second step, kinds of clauses or kinds of conditional sentences. And one more thing, it is also called if clause. Why? This clause began with if. That is one reason to call it a if clause. So there are 4 types of conditional sentences. 4 types. First one, number is not given. It is a 0 type. It is a 0 type. Next, type 1, number is given. It is known as possibility, probability. The name of the first type is possibility or probability. That means, next, type 2, improbable, impossible, imaginary. Impossible, improbable, imaginary. Third type, most important, unfulfilled. These are the 4 types. Now, we come back to 0 type. So, what about 0 type? Why is it called 0 type? 0 type is used to explain all generally happening things. 0 type is used to explain all generally happening things. There is no question of possibility or impossibility. There is no question of any doubt. Such things naturally, generally happen. On such occasion, we can use 0 type. For example, cut your finger, it bleeds. Cut present tense, bleeds also present tense. The meaning is very natural. If you cut your finger, it bleeds. If you cut your finger, it bleeds. It is a generally happening thing. There is no question of any doubt. If you cut your finger, automatically blood comes out. It is generally happening thing. And one more important thing you have to observe here. In zero type, both if clause and main clause consist of only simple present tense. If clause and main clause consist of only simple present tense. If you cut your finger, cut, present tense. It bleeds, bleeds also present tense. Total meaning, natural thing, generally happening thing. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Water boils at, boil water, it boils at 100 degrees centigrade. If you boil water, it boils, it evaporates at 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. Boil water, it evaporates. If you boil water, it evaporates. It is also generally happening thing. No question of any doubt. So boil present tense, evaporate also present tense. So both verbs must be in present tense in zero type, and moreover, zero type is used to explain all generally happening things. Tease the dog, it bites you. If you tease the dog, it bites you. Tease present tense, bites also present tense. So this sentence comes under the category of zero type. Any sentence which is happening generally can be explained in zero type by using both tenses in present tense. If clause must consist of one present tense, main clause also should consist of present tense. But generally in this in this kind of sentences, we have to remember one thing. If clause should come first, main clause should come next. That means reason comes first, result comes next. If you work hard, result, you will get good marks. That is result. This is a general order. So that is about type zero type. So briefly, what is zero type? Zero type consists of both present tenses, both in if clause and main clause. There should be only present tense, simple present tense. And zero type can be used to explain all possible things, natural things. No question of any doubts regarding the result of such sentences. These are the two important things you have to remember about the zero type. Next, type 1, possibility or probability. In this model, some doubtful things we can explain. It may happen, may not happen. No question of any guarantee. For example, work hard, you will get good marks. If you work hard, you will get good marks. There is no guarantee. That's why if clause must be in simple present tense in type 1. If you work hard, work present tense, you will get good marks, will get future tense. So the main feature of type 1 is the verb in the if clause must be in simple present tense, the verb in the main clause must be in simple future tense, will plus V1. Some doubtful things can be explained in this model, type 1. This is known as possibility or probability. So what are the basic things, important features of type 1? Type 1 consists of two clauses, if clause and main clause, and the verb in the if clause must be in simple present tense, the verb in the main clause must be in simple future tense. This is about type 1. Next, type 2. Type 2 is known as improbable, impossible and imaginary. All impossible things, some doubtful things, some completely imaginary things we can explain in type 2. All impossible things, and imaginary things we can explain in type 2. These things are not possible, which are explained in these sentences are not possible. And compulsory on some occasions, complete imaginary sentences. It cannot happen, complete imaginary. I give some examples, you can understand. So, what are the main features of type 2? Type 2, the verb in the if clause must be in simple past tense. In type 2, the verb in the if clause should be in simple past tense. And the verb in the main clause should be conditional tense. Conditional tense means would, could or might. These are called conditional tenses. Would, could or might plus will. So, type 2, there are two important features you have to remember. The verb in the if clause must be in past tense, and the verb in the main clause must be conditional tense. Would, could or might or should plus V1. Would, could, might plus V1. This is the structure. So, random is this type 2. All impossible things and imaginary things we can explain in this model. The things, the events which are explained in this model may not happen, impossible or completely imaginary. For example, if sentence question is, I want to abolish the poverty in India. I want to abolish the poverty in India, but I am not the Prime Minister. But I am not the PM of India. This is the question, structure of the question. I want to abolish, want present tense, poverty in India, but I am not the PM of India. This is also present tense. So what is the meaning? I am not the Prime Minister of India. I want to abolish poverty. So, based on that meaning, you have to separate that sentence. First reason, next result. What is the reason in that sentence? I want to abolish the poverty in India, but I am not the PM of India. In these two sentences, which is the first occurred action, which is the second occurred action? Or which will be first sentence, which will be second sentence? Or which is the reason, which is the result? Reason is becoming Prime Minister of India. Result will be abolishing of poverty. So, in if clause must consist of reason, main clause must consist of result. According to that, you have to separate the sentence. So, the reason, that means if clause must be in simple past tense. For example, I am not the PM of India. What the past tense for it? Am was, am were also. If it is plural, were. Am was been, is was been, are were been. These are the tenses. But one important thing you have to remember. Instead of was, in if clause type 2, we have to use always were. W-E-R-E, were. Were here is called unreal past tense. Were here is called unreal past tense. It is also called subjunctive. It is also called subjunctive. S-U-B-J-U-N-C-T-I-V-E. It is also called subjunctive. Subjunctive means unreal past tense. Compulsorily, with all persons, first persons, second persons, third persons, we have to use only were instead of was. According to that, if I were the PM of India, that is the reason, if clause, I would abolish, would conditional tense, would plus V1, I would abolish the poverty. So, according to structure, if you observe, if I were the Prime Minister, were is past tense, here were is called subjunctive, unreal past tense, but other tenses also, we have to use only past tense in the if clause. If I were the PM of India, comma, I would abolish, would plus V1, abolish. This is called conditional tense. These are the main features. I would abolish poverty in India. This is a type 2. Actually, you are not the Prime Minister, according to the sentence. But you are simply wishing yourself you want to become in future. If you were the Prime Minister, you would abolish. That's your aim. That may be your aim. But actually you are not the Prime Minister. It is completely, at the present, it is impossible. You are not the Prime Minister of India. Completely imaginary. If I were the Prime Minister, I would abolish. You are imagining yourself. So, type 2, in type 2, the if clause must consist of simple past tense, main clause must consist of conditional tense, would, could or might plus will. And sometimes complete imaginary things also we can explain in type 2. I want to fly in the sky, but I am not a bird. You have to understand the meaning of the sentence, then you can decide to which type it belongs. Whether it belongs to 0 type, whether it belongs to type 1, type 2 or type 3. You have to decide. After reading the sentence, after understanding the meaning or context, you have to decide to which type it belongs. Without understanding meaning, you cannot change. You cannot write answer because there is not only one type of conditional sentences. There are 4 types of conditional sentences. So in exam, they give simply one question. They don't ask change it into 0 type 2, change it into type 1, change it into type 2, change it into type 3. They won't ask like that. Simply they give question. Afterwards, they may give answer should begin with if. Answer should begin with if. So if 4 kinds of conditionals are there, to which type you have to change it for that purpose? After reading sentence, you have to understand the meaning. Then you have to decide. Then you have to understand the structure also and tenses of the verbs. Then you can decide whether it belongs to 0 type or type 1 or type 2 or type 3. It depends upon your knowledge. But in the exam they won't ask particular type. So that understanding also very important. So after reading the sentence, you have to understand what is the meaning, what are the tenses used, to which type it belongs. Next, I give one more example. I wanted to fly in the sky, want present tense, but I am not a bird. Here, what is the reason, what is the result? Or which is first occurred action, which is second occurred action? Becoming bird, reason, first occurred action, it should occur first. Flying in the sky, next, result. So, reason must be in if clause by using past tense. Here, instead of yam, for yam, what are the tenses of yam was been or were been? Here, instead of was, you have to write were. If I were a bird, I would fly in the sky. Were is unreal past tense. It is not real past tense. It is known as a subjunctive. Subjunctive. Especially in type 2, we have to use that subjunctive, not in any other grammar topic. Imaginary. You cannot become a bird, you cannot fly in the sky. But simply you are imagining, complete imaginary things. You never become a bird, you never fly in the sky. Such kind of complete imaginary sentence also you can explain in type 2 only. Type 2. Are you following? Instead of was, you have to use compulsorily with the first person, second person, third person, were only. Were is not real past tense. Were is unreal past tense. It is known as subjunctive. Subjunctive. And one more example. I want to meet your brother in Mumbai, but I am not going to Mumbai now. This is a question. They won't ask type in the brackets. You have to decide what is the meaning. I want to fly to meet your brother in Mumbai, but I am not going to Mumbai. He is not going to Mumbai and he is not going to meet your brother. Complete impossible things. He is telling lies to you. If anybody uses type 2 sentence, that means he is making a fool of you. He is making a fool of you. Actually, he is not going to Mumbai. He is not going to meet your brother. He is explaining that in type 2. I want to meet your brother, but I am not going to Mumbai. That means this fellow never goes to Mumbai, never meet your brother. Impossible things. So how do you write that answer? I want to meet your brother, but I am not going to Mumbai. Going main verb. What are the past tense for go? Went. So going to Mumbai is first occurred action, reason. Meeting your brother is second occurred action, that is result. So first occurred action must be in if class. If I went to Mumbai, from where did you get went to? In the reason, I am not going to Mumbai. Going main verb is given. For that main verb separating form, you can get go. What are the past tense for go? Went to. So we have to use that past tense in if class. If I went to Mumbai, comma, I would meet your brother. Would meet, conditional tense. What the meaning of that sentence? This fellow is not going to meet your brother. That is the meaning. Impossible thing. So the answer for that sentence is, if I went to Mumbai, comma, I would meet your brother. Here comma compulsory. You are dividing the sentence into two clauses. First one is if clause, second one is main clause. Comma compulsory. You should keep comma. And one more thing here. For example, work hard, you will come up in life. When you are joining with if, you are adding you. If you work hard, you will come up in life. But in the original sentence, you subject is not given. If you work hard, you is not given in question. From where did you get that you in the answer? If you work hard, you will come up in life. Because work hard is what kind of sentence? Imperative sentence. Work hard. It is an imperative sentence. What is the definition of an imperative sentence? A sentence that begins with always present tense and ends with full stop. In an imperative sentence, there is no question of any subject, but the imaginary subject is always you. It is omitted always. In all imperative sentences, subject is omitted, but it is imaginary subject you always. Whenever you need it, you can take you. Here work hard, only imperative sentence, no subject. But when you are joining these two sentences by using if, you have to frame a clause, if clause. Clause must consist of one subject and one verb. If you don't take you as subject, if you write as it is, if work hard, you will come up in life. It cannot become if clause, first clause, because there is no subject you. If you work hard, only verb is there. For that purpose, to make it a clause or subordinate clause, compulsorily you have to take imaginary subject you, because work hard is imperative sentence. So in imperative sentence, anywhere, anytime, if you want, you can take the help of you. That's why answer must be like this. If you work hard, comma, you use imaginary subject, because the original question is imperative sentence. You use imaginary subject. Here we need you. Why? To make it a clause. A clause must consist of verb and subject. So without subject, if it cannot become if clause. If it cannot become if clause, entire answer is wrong. That's why when you want to frame a subordinate clause or any clause, you need one subject. So here, if you imagine subject, if you work hard, you will come up in life. Then it can become if clause or subordinate clause. Otherwise, it is meaningless. That is one of the important things you have to remember. So, it is about to type 2. Briefly I explain type 2. Type 2 is known as impossible, improbable, imaginary, complete, imaginary. The structure of type 2 is if clause must consist of simple past tense, main clause must consist of conditional tense, would, could or might plus will. And one more important thing, instead of was, with all persons, first, second, third persons, we have to use were in the answer in second type, especially in second type. Here were is not real past tense, it is called unreal past tense, and other name is subjunctive. So sentences may be different for type 2. So based on your understanding of the meaning of the sentence, you have to decide to which type it belongs. First you have to find it out. Then only you must start writing answer. Without coming to conclusion, without finding to which type the sentence belongs, you cannot write answer. That's most important. Next, type 3. It is most important. Type 3. Type 3 is known as unfulfilled. Unfulfilled. Unfulfilled means that thing cannot be done again at the same time. One action is over, that action cannot be repeated at the same time on that day. It is completely past event. But you are thinking about that past event. You are repenting for your mistake. On this occasion, you have to use type 3, that's called unfulfilled. Unfulfilled means it cannot be fulfilled again at that moment. It is over. It is past. That's why it was known as unfulfilled. So, what are the main features of unfulfilled? You have to remember, you have to follow 3 most important rules regarding type 3 unfulfilled. First one, read the sentence carefully and try to find out what is the tense of the verb in the first sentence. The tense of the verb in the first sentence. What is the tense of the verb in the second sentence? 2 separate sentences are given. After reading sentence, carefully observe the tenses of the verb in first sentence and second sentence. If 2 verbs are in past tense, automatically that sentence should be changed into type 3. No doubt about it. Both verbs must be in past tense. Sentence 1, sentence 2. So, while reading sentence, you must be very careful regarding the verbs. So, first, if 2 verbs must be in past tense, that sentence should be changed into type 3. And second important thing, if the sentence is positive, answer must be negative, whether it is if clause or main clause. If it is in positive, it should be changed into negative. If it is negative, it should be changed into positive in the answer. This is the second most important rule. And the third and that very important, the if clause changed into past perfect tense. The if clause verb must be changed into past perfect tense. What is the structure of the past perfect tense? First important thing regarding type 3 is both verbs must be in past tense. Past tense. Second one is if the sentence is positive, the answer must be negative. Must be negative. If the sentence is negative, the answer must be positive. Positive. This is the second most important thing you have to remember. Third one, Third most important thing, the verb in the if class must be changed into past perfect tense. Past perfect tense structure had plus I explain about not afterwards. And the verb in the main class should be changed into conditional perfect tense. This is most important. The verb in the if class must be changed into past perfect tense. The verb in the main class must be changed into conditional perfect tense. The verb in the main class must be changed into conditional perfect tense. Perfect tense. Structure is would, could, might plus not plus have plus will. See, regarding type 3, these are the three most important things you have to remember. First one, after reading the sentence carefully, you have to observe what the tense of the verb in the first sentence, what the tense of the verb in the second sentence. If two verbs are in past tense, you have to change the sentence into type 3 unfulfilled. That is the first step. Second one, the sentence, if the sentence is positive, answer must be negative. If the sentence is negative, answer must be positive. Third important, most important thing, the verb in the if class must be changed. The verb in the if class must be changed into past perfect tense. Past perfect tense means had plus not plus V3. Why do we keep not in the brackets? Sometimes we take not, sometimes we remove not. When the sentence is positive, you have to take not in the answer, had plus not plus V3. When the sentence is negative, question is negative, you have to remove not. Only you have to take had plus V3. That's why not is kept in brackets. That means always it is not compulsory. That's why had plus not is in brackets, afterwards V3. This is past perfect tense. If class verb structure. Main class verb structure must be changed into conditional perfect tense. Conditional tense means would, could, might are conditional tenses. Afterwards again not is kept in brackets. Sometimes we take it, sometimes we remove it. That's why it is doubtful. It is not compulsory always. That's why it is kept in brackets. Afterwards perfect tense. Perfect tense means have plus V3. Have plus V3. So these three are conditional tenses. This is called perfect tense. That's why the structure, total structure is called conditional perfect tense. This is the structure of the verb in main class in type 3. Most of the students fail to change into the structure verb. Most of the students. And if class type 3 is to some extent difficult for most of the students. Some people may write correct answer. But it is very simple if you follow these structures, these three rules. It is very simple to write correct answer for type 3 also. Because type 3 is a very important topic. among four types of if clauses. For example, type 3, I give some examples. In this video, I give two or three examples for type 3. Afterwards, I start from zero type itself. For every type, I give some examples. First of all, before going to examples, the explanation is important. What I explained till now is very, very important. Those things you must remember about those four types of clauses. Then you can write correct answer. For example, type 3, one sentence I am giving. He worked very hard. So, he came up with life. Read the sentence. Just they give, answer should begin with if in the question paper. They won't ask or they won't give types. Change it into type 1, change it into 0 type, change it into type 3, type 2, like that they won't do. Simply, they start the answer with if. So, blindly should not get answer because there are four types of conditional sentences. First, after reading sentence, you have to decide to which type it belongs. That is the first thing you have to do. Afterwards, you can start. According to four types, rules are there. According to the rules, we have to start. First, read the sentence. He worked very hard. Worked V2, past tense. The second sentence, so he came up. Came also V2. Two verbs in two sentences are in past tense. So, according to our rules, to which type it belongs? Type 3. If two verbs are in past tense, that sentence should be changed into type 3. That is, first step is over. Second step. In type 3, what is the first rule? The verb in the if clause must be changed into past perfect tense. Structure of past perfect tense I gave you. Had plus not should be in brackets plus V3. This is the verb structure in if clause. So what is the verb here? Worked. What is the past perfect structure for worked? Had plus V3. Had plus V3. So first take this had. If he also you can write same subject. Next you take had. Stop there. Here not is there. Is not needed here or not? Go to the sentence. Sentence is positive or negative? Positive sentence. In positive sentence, you have to take not in the answer. Sentence is positive. So, according to that, shall we take not? Yes, we have to take not. Add not. Next, what is there? V3. V3 form for what? For the verb worked. Worked, worked, worked. If he had not worked hard, here full stop is there. You have to remove that full stop because you are joining two separate sentences by taking one subordinate conjunction into one sentence. So remove this full stop and remove this so also. Keep comma here. Next, what is there? E. You can write here also, no problem. Next, what is there? Came. This came should be changed into what structure? Conditional perfect tense. Structure also I gave you. Could, would, might, plus not, plus have plus V3. That structure you have to remember. Otherwise, your answer will be wrong. So when could or might is given, you can take could or might. When anything is not given, could, would, might, if they are not there, you have to take would. So he would. Plus, after that not is there. So we take not here, we have to take not because sentence is positive. So he would not. Next have is there. We have to take have. Next V3. V3 for what? Came. What is V3 form for came? Come, came, come. He would not have come up in life. This is the way to write correct answer step by step. You have to follow these guidelines compulsory. And one more example. He was very popular, so he became the PM of India. India. He was very popular, so he became the PM of India. So find out the first two tenses of the verb. He was very popular. In this sentence, was is verb, V2 form. Was main verb. Was can be used as helping verb also. Sometimes as main verb also. He became, here also became V2 form. So both are past tenses. Both are past tenses. So this sentence should be changed into type 3. Follow these rules. If next to he you can write. Next what is there? Was. Was main verb. You have to change that was into past perfect tense. Many students write the wrong answer here because they don't know V3 form of was. V3 form of was is been, be and been. Is was been, am was been, are were been. For all these three verb forms, been is a V3 form. So same formula you have to follow. Had you have to take. Had. Next. Not also you have to take because sentence is a positive. Not. Next. V3. V3 for what? V3 for was. What is V3 for was? Been. Is was been. Am was been. So if you had not been very popular, remove this full stop and so keep comma compulsory. Next sentence, he subject you can write he, stop there. Became verb is there. Became should be changed into conditional perfect tense. They could do, might to, not even. Could do, might to, not even. So you have to take would. He would. Next, sentence positive or negative? Positive sentence. So you have to take this not also. He would not. Next, have. You have to take have. Would not have. Afterwards, V3 form. V3 form for what? V3 form for became. What are the tenses? Become, became, again become. He would not have become the PM of India. This is answer. Once again I explain the sentence. He was very popular, so he became the PM of India. After reading the sentence, you have to find out the tense of the verbs. In the first sentence, was is the main verb, even though it is a helping verb. Some helping verbs are used sometimes as main verbs also. Here was is main verb V2 form. Second sentence became main verb, it is also V2 form, past tense. So, two verbs are in past tense. This sentence should be changed into if plus type 3. Again, we have to follow this simple formulas. If he, up to that no problem. Next was, here you have to start. You have to change this verb into past perfect tense. Structure is had plus not plus V3. Here had you can take. Stop there. What about not? Sentence is positive. You have to take not also. Next V3 is there. V3 for what? V3 for was. Is was been. Been. Remaining sentence you can write as it is. Afterwards remove this full stop and comma. Next he became. Take he, no problem with that. Next became verb is there. The verb became should be changed into conditional perfect tense. Could do, might not given in the sentence. So automatically you have to take would. So would you have to take. Next not is there. Sentence positive. This not also should be taken. Would not. Next have is there. You have to take that have also. Next V3 form. V3 form for what? Became. Become. V3 form also become. So he would not have become. Remaining sentence you can write as this. The PM of India. So this is the process for writing type 3 unfulfilled. Unfulfilled is important. You must remember these rules.